him up. Today, however, the task that awaited Joey was not just ordinary, it was by far the heaviest of his entire schedule, which his alarm relentlessly reminded him of. Today, Joey was supposed to go on a date with the girl he loved beyond measure. Joey had first met Aish in a bookstore, and during that meeting, he had invited her for coffee. That one invitation had slowly evolved into a daily routine. They began meeting regularly, sharing small talks, laughs, and gradually, their love for each other deepened profoundly. Now, in the present moment, Joey reaches the place to meet Aish. The first thing she does is confess her love to him, pouring her heart out, ready to share so many more things she had been holding inside. But just as she starts speaking further, a stranger suddenly appears out of nowhere. He watches them in an unnerving, almost chilling way. The sight terrifies Aish instantly, her eyes widening in fear as she instinctively steps back. Before anyone can react, the stranger pulls out a gun from his side and shoots Aish. Joey witnesses this horrifying act and is immediately overwhelmed with panic and grief. He rushes toward Aish, holding her in his arms, crying out in sheer despair, his mind spinning with anger and helplessness. Consumed by rage and sorrow, Joey chases after the man who had tried to take Aish's life. The stranger, however, vanishes into a narrow, barely visible alleyway, disappearing as suddenly as he had appeared. Joey is left utterly shocked and bewildered, unable to comprehend where the man could have gone so fast. Soon, the police arrive at the crime scene. Despite their best efforts, they cannot trace the murder or even find a single clue to the perpetrator's identity or whereabouts. Their failure leaves Joey completely devastated. His mind is a storm of confusion, replaying over and over the scene where Aish had been attacked. He is tormented by questions. What exactly was Aish trying to tell him that day? Why had someone tried to end her life? Why did this happen? For the next 2 weeks, Joey isolates himself from the world entirely. He shuts himself inside his apartment, refusing to meet anyone, retreating from all human contact, letting the weight of grief and confusion consume him. During this dark time, his friend Oliver, a newspaper vendor, arrives at Joey's apartment, attempting to console him and bring some semblance of normalcy back into his life. Oliver prepares a cup of coffee for Joey, a gesture that reminds him of his moments with Aish when they had shared coffee together, laughing and enjoying each other's company. The memory overwhelms him so intensely that his hands begin to tremble uncontrollably, and the cup of coffee slips from his hands, crashing to the floor. Seeing this, Oliver realizes that Joey is not in a state to be reasoned with yet, and quietly leaves him to his grief. That very evening, Joey makes a drastic decision. He plans to end his own life, believing that if he cannot be with Aish in this world, perhaps they could at least be together in the afterlife. He purchases a gun and sits alone, ready to carry out his plan. He loads the gun and attempts to fire it at himself, but nothing happens. He tries again, over and over, each time pulling the trigger on his own body, yet the gun does not fire. Frustrated, scared, and shocked, Joey begins to panic. Even when he aims the gun at the couch and fires, the bullet pierces through the couch and exits harmlessly on the other side. The impossibility of the situation infuriates Joey further. In a fit of rage, he shoots at the window glass, which shatters into countless pieces, cascading down outside the building. Joey jumps out of the window, intending to end his life, but instead, he gets suspended midair. Surrounding him are shards of broken glass, falling dangerously due to the force of his gunfire. The sheer chaos shakes Joey's mind to its very core, leaving him trembling with fear, disbelief, and frustration. Suddenly, the AI system installed in his home begins to sound off. Its eyes light up, staring directly at him from the bed. The system informs Joey that a message from Aish has arrived. Joey, overcome with shock and a flicker of hope, rushes to the living room. There, on the table, the gun still lies, and on the sofa, evidence of previous gunfire remains. A clear sign that Aish was, in fact, attacked and had truly faced mortal danger. If she is dead, however, Joey cannot comprehend how a message from her number could exist. The questions overwhelm him as he tries to process the reality of the situation. Meanwhile, Aish herself walks along the streets, checking the messages that keep coming to Joey. Before she can even focus, she notices something strange. A woman passing nearby, whose face flickers like an old television screen. Messages begin arriving continuously for Joey, and each one leaves him more bewildered than before. Unsure what is happening, Joey decides to consult Oliver, After learning the full situation, Oliver realizes that these messages are from Aish, but pre-recorded, carefully arranged to be delivered to Joey at a specific time via a special case. Hesitant but compelled, Joey opens the messages. They are videos in which Aish instructs him to visit a bookstore where a parcel addressed to Joey awaits. He must receive this parcel immediately. In the video, Aish also reveals that she does not belong to this world in the usual sense. The revelation blows Joey's mind completely. Simultaneously, we see a woman at an information center, observing Joey closely alongside two men. She watches carefully as Joey retrieves the small parcel from the bookstore. Inside, he finds a small book, the same one Aish had prepared. The observer notes everything, that Joey collected the parcel and now holds the book. Joey hurriedly opens the book, finding a page where Aish has expressed her deep and undying love for him. Overcome with emotion, he struggles to continue reading as his vision blurs. He decides he must go home and read the book alone, somewhere safe and private, to absorb the words and emotions Aish left behind. On his way, suddenly, a man starts following him, tracking his every move. Every moment, he reports back to the woman we had previously seen at the information center. Once she learns everything, she immediately gives orders to her special team. They are to eliminate Joey and seize the book from him at any cost. As soon as the command is given, every member of her group begins following Joey, tracking him relentlessly. Realizing this, Joey becomes increasingly anxious and hurriedly rushes into his building, heading straight toward his room. However, the man following him is still on his tail. Just then, Joey receives a message from Ash on his phone. Her words are chilling. They are trying to kill you. You have to run to save your life. Reading this, Joey immediately bolts into his apartment, trying desperately to lock the door behind him. But an attacker has wedged his foot against the gate, preventing Joey from securing it. Without delay, the attacker begins firing from outside. Joey reacts instinctively, grabbing his gun from the table and taking cover behind the couch. When the intruder finally enters, Joey fires at him, but his shot misses. The attacker, ready to strike, is suddenly taken by surprise. Joey's body, as if guided by some unseen force, moves on its own. The bullet Joey had fired passes through him and hits the attacker instead. Joey is astounded at this, his heart racing, trying to comprehend what had just happened. But there is no time to pause. Another attacker appears outside the building. Joey engages him in a hand-to-hand combat, dodging every strike with astonishing skill. With a single punch, he knocks the man unconscious. Until this moment, Joey had never fought anyone, and he had no idea he was capable of such precise and powerful combat. Yet, amid all the chaos, a sense of exhilaration courses through him, leaving him bewildered at the unfolding events around him. Returning to his room, Joey's eyes fall on Ash's face projected on the wall, flickering like a live television feed. This is not a pre-recorded message, it is a live video. Joey has no idea how this is possible. Suddenly, the body of the attacker he shot earlier vanishes into thin air. These inexplicable events only add layers of complexity to the story. In that moment, through Ash's words, Joey learns the depth of her love for him. She had never wanted him to give up, but she had been forced into difficult choices. Her system hack had been detected, leaving her with no alternative but to act in secrecy. Ash begins explaining further. Many years ago, technology had advanced exponentially. Across the globe, people were using this advanced technology extensively, and artificial intelligence was enhanced with self-learning capability, making it increasingly sophisticated and capable. It was during this time that a man named Hunter envisioned blending the real world with the virtual world for entertainment purposes, allowing real-world individuals to enjoy experiences within a virtual realm. While Hunter had the idea, no programmer could initially achieve a parallel universe containing artificial intelligences with their own desires, capable of independent action, yet unaware of their artificial nature and treating themselves as human. One day, an unknown programmer assisted Hunter, and together, they created the digital universe, DU, a vast parallel world inhabited by multiple AIs, designed for real-world people to enter and enjoy. Though initially intended for entertainment, Hunter later began exploiting the universe for sinister purposes, including dangerous weapons testing and other illicit activities. Attempts to stop him failed, and the programmer suddenly disappeared. Hunter went on to create around 500 D, each used for specific purposes unknown to outsiders. Upon learning all this, Joey realizes the shocking truth. He himself is not a real human, but a program within this digital world. The revelation hits him with immense sorrow. He also discovers that Ash is indeed a real human who entered this virtual universe from the real world on a mission to dismantle Hunter's company, Syntech Corporation, and expose the hidden realities Hunter was concealing from the public. Ash's goal was to retrieve critical files that would reveal the truth to the world. She was on the brink of accomplishing her mission when Hunter learned of her actions and entered the virtual world, ultimately killing her virtual body. Later, when Joey sees the photo of the programmer who created this DU, he is shocked to learn that it is none other than Oliver, who has been hiding in the universe to protect himself from Hunter. Oliver had opposed Hunter's malicious actions and attempted to shut down his company. Ash, learning the truth about Oliver, becomes overwhelmed with hope and relief. She desperately wants to return to Joey's world, and Oliver is the only one capable of helping her. Ash pleads with Joey to contact Oliver and convince him to bring her back into the real world. Joey, understanding the stakes and the intensity of Ash's love for him, immediately agrees. Meanwhile, on the other side, we see Erica, the same woman from the information center, approaching Hunter directly. At this point, it becomes evident that Erica is also working for Hunter, acting on his behalf and coordinating his efforts. Hunter, upon learning from Erica that she had still not succeeded in killing Joey, grew extremely furious. His anger boiled over, and Erica, sensing the intensity of his rage, suggested that Hunter completely shut down Joey's universe and isolate it from all other universes. The logic was simple. By doing so, all the artificial intelligences existing in Joey's universe would be entirely erased. However, Joey's universe was the oldest and the largest of all the universes, and this made Hunter immediately refuse the suggestion. It was far too significant for him to destroy. Instead, Hunter devised a more direct and sinister plan. He would locate the real Ash and eliminate her himself. To execute this, he strictly ordered Erica to handle the operation, and she immediately mobilized her team to carry out his commands. Meanwhile, in the real world, Ash was sitting quietly in her home when suddenly she received a call from Oliver. Desperate, she reached out to him for help, pleading that he find a way to get her access into Joey's universe. Oliver, understanding her urgency and her intentions, agreed to help. But before he could even explain his plan further, the power supply in Ash's house abruptly cut off. Almost immediately, multiple Syntech soldiers began entering her home. It became clear that Erica and her team had tracked Ash's location, and now they were there to eliminate her. Narrowly escaping the soldiers, Ash managed to evade capture and began tracing Oliver's call to its last known location, the house where Oliver had been hiding for so long in the real world. When Ash finally reached him, they began talking, and through their conversation, we learned that 10 years ago, Ash had completed her college studies and immediately started working for Syntech Corporation. She had joined as a data analyst and had eventually realized the horrifying truth. All the artificial intelligences inside the digital universe were behaving exactly like real humans, with consciousness implanted within them. Yet, unaware of their true nature, they were being exploited by Syntech for their own purposes. Determined to rectify this, Ash had resolved to destroy the digital universe entirely. However, when she developed genuine feelings for Joey, she understood that there was a way to protect some of these conscious beings, catching them in a state where they could continue existing safe. Although Ash's original plans had focused solely on her mission, her love for Joey altered her priority. She only wished to be sent into Joey's universe, where they could finally be together. Seeing the intensity of Ash's devotion, Oliver decided to help. Using his programming skills, he successfully transported Ash into Joey's universe, placing her exactly where he had hidden critical components. Hunter, meanwhile, monitored the digital universe from his computer. He noticed the code shifting and immediately realized that Oliver had entered the game, manipulating the system. Joey, in turn, when he saw Ash appear in the universe, was overwhelmed by the revelation of his own reality. Conflicted and distressed, knowing he was an AI, Joey struggled to grasp the truth. Then, Ash, sensing his turmoil, kissed him and tried to reassure him that she would always remain with him in this space and that everything they were experiencing was completely real. As they talked, an unexpected turn occurred. Ash suddenly exited Joey's universe and returned to the real world. Even she was stunned, unable to comprehend how it had happened. Meanwhile, Oliver, relying on his hidden networks and connections, discovered that Hunter had blocked Ash's code, preventing her virtual body from entering the universe. Worse, Hunter now intended to completely destroy Joey's universe. If he succeeded, Joey would be entirely wiped out. This revelation left Joey in immense distress, and Oliver, equally worried, could not bear the thought of separating Ash and Joey. To preserve their love and protect both of them, Oliver devised a plan. He would somehow copy Joey's code from Hunter's system and use it to create a new, separate universe. In this universe, Joey and Ash could live together, different from the original, but united. However, only Joey himself could retrieve his code from the developer room. If he wished to be with Ash, he had no choice but to undertake this mission. Ash, aware of the stakes, was terrified. That is why, before her apparent death, she had secretly hidden a small book inside the developer room. Joey had already retrieved this book from the bookstore. On the other side, in the real world, we see Ash evading the agents Hunter had sent after her. She's being relentlessly pursued, but after taking down one agent, she interrogates him for more information about the digital universe. The agent, however, refuses to divulge anything and is killed in the process. Pushing forward, Ash is attacked by another agent who knocks her unconscious. When she regains consciousness, she finds herself bound inside Hunter's office. At this point, Hunter also discovers Oliver's secret location. Without hesitation, he rushes to Oliver's home and, with unrestrained aggression, kills him, eliminating yet another obstacle in his path. Due to this, Oliver's digital version was completely erased, leaving him unable to assist Ash or Joey in any way. Meanwhile, Joey, determined to save both himself and Ash, managed to reach the developer room. Once there, he had to upload his own code into the software, a crucial step that would allow him to access the other universe. He focused entirely on this task, knowing it would take some time. The moment Hunter learned about Joey's progress, he immediately dispatched a large contingent of guards to the building where Joey was located. Yet, Oliver had already anticipated this move and prepared an elaborate plan. As Joey entered a room, he discovered it stocked with an array of weapons. Methodically, he used them one by one, taking out every soldier that came his way. Despite his relentless efforts, Hunter had begun manipulating the system on his computer, initiating the destruction of Joey's universe. At the same time, a sudden thought struck Hunter. A new, sinister plan, and Joey, facing mounting danger, teleported out of the building. Outside, he came face to face with Hunter, who immediately shot him in the shoulder. Meanwhile, Joey's universe was steadily being erased. Watching that, Joey felt a surge of despair. He realized the gravity of the situation. Hunter coldly informed him that he intended to kill Ash next and that there was no hope of escape. Knowing his time was limited, Ash requested to speak to Joey one last time. Surprisingly, Hunter allowed this, though he was genuinely astonished at how a human could feel such profound love for a software program. Joey, hearing Ash's voice and sharing their final moments together, became deeply emotional, understanding that this could be the last time he would experience life in this form. As Hunter prepared to isolate Joey's universe from all other digital universes permanently, a sudden shock occurred. Oliver's face appeared on Hunter's computer screen. Joey and Hunter both realized that Oliver was still alive. This revelation stunned Hunter, but the most shocking truth came next. Oliver revealed that Hunter himself was not human, but a software program created as part of one of Oliver's digital universes. Hunter had been the first digital entity Oliver had ever designed, and the environment had been manipulated so expertly that Hunter had come to believe he was human. Over time, Hunter had gone on to create countless other digital universes, unaware that all of this had been orchestrated by Oliver as part of his ultimate test. Initially, Oliver had intended to shut down all programs and erase every digital universe. But after interacting with Ash, he realized that she genuinely loved Joey and that their connection was too important to destroy. Instead, he resolved to create a new universe specifically for Ash and Joey, where they could exist together, safe from Hunter's interference. Acting decisively, Oliver eliminated Hunter and restored Joey's code to his universe. This allowed Joey and Ash to reunite, fully aware now that they were both part of a digital universe, and that Ash, too, was a digital entity, a software program integrated into this world. Understanding this truth, they were overjoyed, experiencing a profound sense of completion and unity. Finally, Oliver appeared before them, spending time to explain everything and congratulating them on their future together. With their lives now secure and their love preserved, the story reached its conclusion. Joey and Ash embrace, ready to live in their newly created universe, grateful for the guidance and sacrifice of Oliver. And that's how this mind-blowing story reaches its epic conclusion. Joey and Ash, against all odds, find each other in a universe where love and courage triumph over chaos, and Oliver's genius ensures their world and their love remains safe. If you loved this intense, action-packed explanation, don't just sit there, hit that like button. Let's aim for at least 5,000 likes to show some love for Joey, Ash, and all the digital universe madness. And make sure to subscribe and click the bell icon on all so you never miss a story that takes you deep into these incredible worlds. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Drop your thoughts in the comment. What part of this crazy universe shocked you the most? I read every single one. Until next time, buckle up for more thrilling explanations, jaw-dropping twists, and unforgettable stories. See you soon, and remember, stay curious, stay amazed. I got